5 prisoners had made a plan to escape from a prison together. Among them, 2 of the prisoners had already found a way to get out of their cells. But that night, when they were all ready to escape, a large number of prison guards arrived. Now, what happened next? Let's continue the story. As the movie opens, a mechanic is seen repairing his car inside the prison. He looks at the camera and says, "I'm telling you my story today. My story begins in a prison in Paris. A prisoner named Lord is brought into the prison, and when he is presented in front of the warden, he has a gold-plated lighter in his possession, which he had hidden. The warden asks him, 'Don't you know that it's forbidden to bring a lighter here?' Lord calmly replies, 'It doesn't even work. There's no gas in it. I keep it with me because it holds memories for me.' The warden takes the lighter from him and says, 'When you finish your sentence and are released from this prison, I'll return this lighter to you. For now, it stays with us.' Lord is then placed in a cell with 4 other prisoners who were already there. As soon as the others see Lord, they become angry. One of the prisoners, Minu, tells the guard, 'We already have 4 prisoners here. With his arrival, it will cause problems for us.' But the guard responds, 'Yes, he's staying here. The orders came from above. I can't do anything about it.' The guard leaves, and Lord realizes that the other prisoners aren't happy about his arrival. He softly says to them, 'I didn't come here by choice. My old cell is being repaired, and once it's ready, I'll go back there.' Lord speaks gently, and the other prisoners seem to appreciate it. One by one, the prisoners start introducing themselves, beginning with Vaseline, then Roland, and finally Gio. Gio starts asking Lord strange questions. 'Do you have a wife?' Gio asks. 'And do you love her?' Lord smiles slightly and replies, 'Yes, I have a wife, and I do love her.' Hearing this, the other prisoners smile as well. This is their first meeting, and it starts on a cheerful note. Just then, a guard comes in with a cardboard box, as the prisoners need to make cardboard boxes. Minu spreads cloth on the floor and begins working on the cardboard, and the other prisoners join him. After a while, food arrives, and all the prisoners gather to eat. At that moment, a guard comes in to tell Lord, 'Your parcel has arrived.' When Lord leaves to collect his parcel, the other prisoners begin discussing him. They like Lord, but since he just arrived, they can't fully trust him yet. In the meantime, they are planning their escape and wonder if they should include Lord in their plan. When Lord receives his parcel, it only contains food. The guard checks the food thoroughly and then hands it over to Lord. When Lord returns to his cell, he senses that something is different. The other prisoners are avoiding eye contact with him. Lord asks, 'Is something wrong?' Minu directly asks him, 'Why are you here?' Lord responds, 'I committed murder, and that is why I am here.' He continues, 'I used to live with my wife and my younger sister, Nicole. One day, I had an argument with my wife, and she pointed a gun at me. When I tried to grab the gun from her, I accidentally fired it, and the bullet hit her shoulder. After that, she accused me of trying to kill her.' After hearing this, the 4 prisoners become angry. Gio asks, 'Was your wife wealthy?' Lord nods and answers, 'Yes, she is rich, but I no longer love her. I was having an affair with her younger sister, Nicole.' After hearing this, the prisoners understand why Lord's wife would want to harm him. Minu then asks, 'Do you want to go back to her?' Lord replies, 'Yes, I could meet her only after serving my sentence.' At this point, the other prisoners trust Lord, and Minu begins to tell him about their escape plan. Minu said, 'The 4 of us are going to escape from prison.' Hearing this, Lord was shocked. Roland, noticing his surprise, quickly added, 'I've already escaped from prison 3 times before.' After thinking for a while, Lord felt a bit relieved and asked the prisoners, 'So when do we escape?' Roland softly replied, 'At dawn. We can't escape during the day because we'll be seen, and escaping at night means we might lose our way in the dark.' The next day, while a lot of noise was coming from outside, they started making plans. They realized that the noise would be useful for them. Whenever there was commotion outside, they would dig a tunnel underneath. They began their work. At night, Vaseline and Lord sat together, talking about their past lives. Vaseline asked Lord about his personal life. Lord told him that his childhood had been full of struggles. When he was young, his mother passed away, and 5 years later, he lost his father in a car accident. Since then, he had grown up with his grandmother. Talking about their lives, the 2 eventually fell asleep. In the morning, Roland woke up first. A little while later, the prison guards came and opened the cell doors to serve the prisoners their morning coffee. Roland served coffee to everyone in his cell, and the day began like any other. Afterward, he pulled out a hidden piece of glass that he had secretly stashed in the corner of the wall. He broke it into pieces, kept one small shard with him, and flushed the rest down the toilet. Just then, 2 guards entered the cell for a routine inspection. Roland had expected this, so he hid the shard of glass inside his mouth. The guards thoroughly checked all of his belongings and searched the entire cell. Once they left, Roland took the shard out and attached it to a toothbrush handle so he could use it to see outside the cell door. He saw the guards patrolling outside. Roland then said, "Since the inspection is over, we can start digging again." Lord was given the job of keeping watch through the makeshift mirror. His only task was to warn them if a guard came near. Roland then took apart a chair and removed a heavy iron piece from it, which they planned to use for digging. Everyone helped move the cardboard sheets that were spread out with cloth beneath them. Roland pulled out the floor tiles, and with Minu's help, he started digging through the floor. There was a lot of noise outside, which helped cover their sounds. After working hard for quite some time, they managed to dig a hole about 3 feet deep. Underneath, they found a cement floor slab. They broke it, revealing an empty space below. Roland said, "Tonight, 2 of us will go down this way to find a way out." They filled the hole back with the same soil, replaced the tiles, and spread the cardboard again. The floor now looked completely normal. That night, they made dummies out of blankets and cardboard, laying them on their beds so that, if a guard looked in, it would appear as if all 5 prisoners were asleep. They even tied ropes to the dummies' arms and legs so they could move them slightly if needed. Soon, a guard arrived. He knocked on the cell door and peeked in through the peephole. Under the blankets, Gio, Vaslin, and Lord moved the dummies' hands in response, making it look like real prisoners were lying there. The guard noticed that 2 other figures under the blankets were moving slightly, so he moved on without suspicion. After the guard left, Minu used the toothbrush mirror to check again. When everything looked clear, Roland unscrewed a table bolt and pulled out a hidden iron blade, which they planned to use as a cutting tool. Then Roland and Minu climbed down into the hole. There, they found an iron grill blocking the way. Using the blade, they cut through the grill and slipped past it. They realized they had reached the prison basement. Inside, they found several doors. As they were exploring, 2 policemen came down to the basement for a smoke break and routine inspection. Roland and Minu quickly hid behind a pillar. The policemen lingered for a while, then left. Roland noticed that the locks there could be broken and opened easily. Right there, the 2 of them fashioned a key out of a cut iron rod. Using it, they unlocked the first door and moved on to the second. But beyond it, there was no clear passage. Opening the second door only revealed a third one. Both were puzzled. It seemed like there was an endless sequence of doors. Minu said, "Maybe all these doors use the same key." After opening another door, they found one that looked different. They quickly realized it wouldn't open with a rod key. So instead of picking the lock, they decided to break the entire door down. Behind it, they discovered a tunnel. But only a short distance in, they saw that the passage was sealed off with solid cement. Roland examined the wall carefully. It seemed strong, but when he scratched the adjoining wall, the cement began to crumble. "This one isn't as strong," he said. "It's just a prison wall filled with cement. Next time, we'll bring tools and break through it." The 2 then returned toward their cell. At the same time, Lord saw from the cell door that the guards were making rounds, opening every cell for inspection. Hearing the footsteps, Lord, Vaslin, and Gio immediately became alert and tense. But just before the guards arrived, Minu and Roland climbed back up through the hole and silently slipped into their cell. As soon as they were inside, Roland quickly grabbed the dummy that had been covering the hole and pushed it down into the tunnel. Together, they replaced the floor tiles and covered them with a cardboard sheet, making the area look completely untouched. Everyone returned to their places and lay down on their beds. When the guards inspected the cell, they peered inside but noticed nothing unusual. Everything looked normal, so they moved on. After the guards left, everyone sighed in relief. Vaslin immediately asked Roland, "What happened down there?" Roland gave a faint smile and replied, "We found a way out. All we need is to dig a small tunnel." Lord quickly asked, "But why were you 2 gone so long?" Roland shrugged and replied sarcastically, "Do you have a watch? I don't, so I had no idea how much time had passed." The next morning, Vaslin went for a medical checkup. There, he noticed several glass bottles lying around. While distracting the doctor with conversation, he secretly stole some of the bottles. On his way back, he also scooped up some sand from a drum. Then he returned to his cell. When Roland saw the bottles, he turned them into a timer, something that would finally let them measure how long it took to go down and come back from the tunnel. Roland and Minu went back underground and placed their makeshift sand clock on a thin wooden plank. Together, they began breaking through the tunnel wall. According to their plan, they would return to the cell every 30 minutes to make sure everything remained safe and normal. One day, when Claude and Minu were working in the tunnel, Roland and Gio stayed above. Suddenly, Gio turned to Roland and said, "I don't want to escape this prison with you." Roland looked shocked. "What? Are you crazy? Why not?" Gio lowered his voice. "The last time I was caught, my mother was devastated. Her health has never been good. If I escape again, the police will go straight to her. I can't put her through that stress again. If she dies because of me, what will I do then?" Roland understood. He never forced anyone to join him, and today was no different. He simply nodded in silence. That night, Gio and Roland went down together to work on the tunnel. Gio kept hammering away at the wall. "I think we're close." close, he said. The wall feels solid again. With renewed energy, he struck harder and faster, until suddenly the wall gave way and debris collapsed onto him. Roland rushed forward, pulling Gio out from under the rubble. Both were badly shaken, but alive. Back in the cell, they quickly washed up so the guards wouldn't suspect anything. The next morning, while everyone was shaving, a guard arrived and told Claude, "Someone wants to see you." Claude went to the visiting room, where he found his wife's younger sister, Nicole, waiting for him. Nicole asked how he was doing. Claude immediately asked, "Are you still living with your sister?" Nicole replied, "Yes. The house belongs to both of us. We don't talk much anymore, but she still loves you. You should speak to her. Maybe she'll even drop the case." Claude's voice turned bitter. "I've already spoken with her lawyer. She said she will never drop it." Nicole gently answered, "Maybe she just wants to punish you. By the way, I needed to tell you something else. I'm leaving for England for a year to study English. By the time I return, you'll probably be out of prison." Claude looked her in the eye with anger. "Please, don't play any more games with me." With that, he stormed out of the visiting room. That night, just as the group was preparing to continue their tunnel work, several guards suddenly entered their cell. Everyone froze in shock. Vaisslin asked, "So late at night, why?" From the back, Roland muttered, "Looks like they don't trust us anymore." The guard, with a stern tone, replied, "Your records may be clean, but duty is duty." He lifted the boxes on a floor, checked them, and even moved the cardboard sheets. For a moment, it seemed like he had sensed something suspicious, and their entire plan was about to collapse. But just then, another guard shouted from the next cell, "Something's wrong over here." The head guard immediately sounded the alarm and called all guards over. Once they left, the prisoners breathed a sigh of relief. As soon as the guards moved to the other cells, Minu whispered nervously to Roland, "We need to hurry before we're caught." Without wasting a second, Minu and Roland climbed back down into the tunnel and resumed digging. Minu was breaking through the tunnel while Roland cleared away the debris. After a while, Roland came back up and Lord went down in his place. Lord continued removing the rubble while Minu kept chipping at the wall. Finally, Minu saw light on the other side of the tunnel. Excited, he told Lord, and together they broke through the wall. Beyond it, they started searching for an exit. After some time, they discovered a heavy iron lid, a manhole that opened onto the road. When they lifted it, they saw an open alley with a prison building clearly visible just behind them. The two of them quickly returned to the cell and told the others, "We found the way. The tunnel leads to the road behind the prison." Everyone was thrilled. Roland said, "Tonight we escape." They decided to draw lots to determine the order. Vaisslin wrote down names on slips of paper, put them in a box, and one by one the names were drawn. First, Vaisslin. Second, Gio. Third, Minu. Fourth, Roland. And last, Lord. Vaisslin told Lord, "If you want, I'll go in your place." But then Gio said, "Any of you can take my spot because I'm not escaping." Everyone was stunned. Claude asked, "Why not?" Gio replied, "I've already told Roland everything. You can talk about it on the way." The room fell silent. Just then, a guard entered and said, "Lord, the warden wants to see you. Come with me." Lord put on his jacket and left. Minu quickly asked the officer, "Where are you taking him?" The officer only said, "You don't need to know." Immediately, everyone realized he was being taken to the warden, and fear crept into their hearts. Lord was seated before the warden, who asked, "What case brought you here?" Lord replied, "My wife accused me of trying to kill her with a gun. She came at me with a shotgun. I tried to take it away, and it went off." The warden asked, "Why hasn't she dropped the charges?" Lord, confused, said, "How should I know?" Calmly, the warden explained, "Your wife still loves you. She has dropped all charges." Lord was stunned. "Does that mean I can go free?" The warden answered, "Your case will likely be finalized today or tomorrow. If all goes well, you'll be released." But instead of happiness, worry spread across Lord's face because his friends were planning to escape that very night. The warden noticed his unease. "Why do you look troubled?" he asked. But Lord said nothing. Later, Lord returned to the cell with a downcast expression. He told the others, "My wife has dropped the charges." Vaisslin quickly said, "So that means you won't be escaping with us." Lord replied, "I'll still go with you. Yes, maybe my life could be better now. If the case isn't dismissed, I'll serve 5 years. But if I don't show up in court, the case could be thrown out entirely." The others relaxed a little, but Minu still felt suspicious. He asked bluntly, "You were with the warden for 2 hours. Just for that?" Lord snapped in anger. "I've treated you like a friend, and you still don't trust me?" Hearing this, the others decided to trust him again. Minu even apologized for doubting him. That night, everyone was ready to escape. Gio stood guard at the door while the others pulled away the cardboard sheet. Gio peeked outside. Everything looked empty. But when he pushed the glass aside, he saw a group of guards waiting right there. Gio shouted, "Minu, guards outside." Everyone realized at once the plan had failed, and the reason was Lord. Fury erupted. They turned on him. Lord shouted, "I swear, I don't know anything about this." Minu shoved him just as the guards stormed into the cell. They separated Lord from the others and lined the rest of them up. An officer looked into the tunnel and saw their escape route. On the warden's orders, Lord was taken to another cell. The others glared at him with eyes full of hatred, as if they wanted to kill him. Lord couldn't even meet their gaze. Without a word, he quietly stepped into his new cell. The door shut behind him, and the movie ended there.